Iverson's got his second basket of the night.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense. And the Utah Jazz, historically, they've always been one of the better franchises in the NBA. And it was nice to see them back in the playoffs in 2017 after that 4-year rebuilding phase. It tied their longest playoff drought since the team moved to Utah.
Utah with the rebound. And now running up the court, Hayward's pushing it up. He kicks to Ellis. Millsap a screen. The pass to Malone. And the rejection by Abdul-Jabbar. He is out of bounds. Utah able to return possession here. New Orleans making some changes here. T.J. Brown's checked in for Monk. Wallace comes in for Andre Iguodala. And Larry Hughes is subbed in for Iverson. And Utah with a change here, too. Thomas is checked in. New Orleans leading by 5. Hughes, the pass to Miller. Lets the three fly. Millsap grabs the miss. Utah is gone, just 1 of 4 from three-point range here in the first. And the jam by Karl Malone.
And guys, he's not an easy man to stop when he's got the rim in his sights.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher. Pass to Wallace. And there's a minute 45 left here in the opening quarter. The layup missed. The shot by Hayward wide open. The basket is good. The assist from Stockton. 7 points for Gordon Hayward.
He's looking confident right from the opening tip.
And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. New Orleans shooting their first free throws of the game right now. New Orleans making some changes here. Primetime comes in for Abdul-Jabbar, and Andrew Wiggins is sub in for Miller. Joe Ingles is checked in for the Jazz. Armstrong comes in for John Stockton. Malone kicks to Thomas. Feeds to Armstrong. Outside Millsap. Up they get it back. Here's Thomas. Can't tie it up as that one's no good.
Yeah, they got that one, but early on, it's really been a struggle to secure that defensive backboard. Well, check out that assist. That's a pair of teammates that are clearly on the same page.
59 seconds left in the first quarter. Passes it to Millsap. Here's Malone, and he drops in the layup off the glass.
Wow, fired that bounce pass in there beautifully.
And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. Paul Millsap picks one up.
Jazz coach Quinn Snyder bounced around as an NBA assistant coach 4 different teams, never staying more than a year. He got his education working under so many great coaches.
And Coach Snyder said that his experience as an assistant coach helped to erase some coaching blind spots.
Well, you take something, Kevin, from every experience, every stop. He's been well prepared to become an NBA coach. Over 2 decades on the bench before taking over the Jazz job.
Pass to Swift. Over Millsap. And again, no good by New Orleans.
Yeah, the aggressive D inside leads to a missed opportunity there.
You know, he had terrific position, does a good job of affecting the shot without fouling.
Armstrong with it. Ingles, that's for 2. A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. New Orleans on top, leading by just 2. And the second quarter will get underway just after this short break. And so far, New Orleans in the lead. And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. So for New Orleans right now, You've got Brown. Larry Hughes is out there with Wiggins. Then it's Wallace. And it's Swift in at the 4 spot. On the wing, Wiggins. The pass to Hughes. Back to Wiggins. This one for 3. Sinks the triple.
This is what these perimeter plays are designed to produce. Quality looks for spot-on shooters.
Armstrong against Wiggins. He'll set the screen, and the call will be against Gerald Wallace. That is his first foul of the game. A platoon swap here for New Orleans. And Utah also making a switch. Mitchell is jumped in for Isaiah Thomas.
Woo! Love it, love it.
And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game.
Well, there's a swagger out there. You can see it on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either. Screen by Malone. Kicks it to Ingles. The dish to Mitchell. Shot clock at 6. Utah needs to get off the shot here. Millsap misses. New Orleans leading by 5. Iverson kicks it to Odom. And the shot no good, a bit short.
Man, this is a guy that can get you stops. Aggressive on the defensive end.
Also doing a good job of tracking the ball, contesting the mid-range jumper as well. I'll tell you, the defense dodging a bullet right there. That's his shot.
Odom on the wing. The feed to Iguodala. It's Miller on the wing. Iguodala setting the peg for Miller. They grab their own miss. The 3 from Iverson. Another miss by Iverson.
Rough start to this game. Hits 1 bucket in the first and nothing here in the second.
And this is one of those times where the coach has got to preach, be unselfish.
And we don't know that he hasn't. Maybe it's been falling on deaf ears. Guys taking ill-advised jump shots.
And he gets it back. Quarter 2 and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Iverson's got his 3rd basket of the night. Well, Steve, you are known for ball handling at 6'7". It seems like we're seeing more and more big players with that kind of skills. Kumbo, Ben Simmons in Philadelphia as he begins to come back in his rehab. Of course, LeBron James. Why do you think that's the case? The taller guys handling the ball and with great success.
You know, Kevin, I think it's because now guys are not in the box. I don't think you have positions. It's positionless basketball. And guys want to be able to dribble the basketball, shoot the basketball, and they work on their game. I know kind of my era, the big guys just play in the paint, the guards handle the basketball, and then kind of the 2 and 3 were the only guys that did a lot of different things. But I think right now, guys are learning the game from such a young age to be able to do it all, and that's the reason why we're seeing more triple-doubles.
Here's what Utah's going with right now. Gordon Hayward's checked in for Joe Ingles. Ellis comes in for Mitchell. And Stockton subbed in for Armstrong. Here's Abdul-Jabbar. Kicks it out to Iverson. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Yeah, easy call.
This is his 2nd trip to the free throw line.
And he buried a bunch of shots from the strike in that last game.
Alan Crabb, he's checked in for Miller.
And a great job from the line this quarter. They've gotten their percentage way up there.
Jazz trail by 11. Timeout is called. First of the game for the Jazz.
Yeah, you need to refocus now. Momentum is running against you.
And from what I'm seeing, there's too many unfavorable matchups out there on the floor.
Miller's checked in for New Orleans. And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already. Ellis kicks to Stockton. Malone dishes to Stockton. To end the drought, buries it from 3-point range. Stockton's got himself on the board with 3 there.
I can't understand in the midst of a game you leave an elite shooter this wide open.
Iverson against Stockton. Shot on the wing, and that one good. And that's 13 points for Iverson.
They've settled into a nice groove offensively here in the second.
Stockton passes to Malone. Now here's Ellis. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. 6 to shoot. Malone with the screen. On its way from Hayward for 2. A shot off that time. And New Orleans will cover the other way. After this game wraps up, they're off to Atlanta where they'll take on the Hawks. Sets in motion a 4-game road trip for them. And it's Allen Iverson with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. And the Jazz making a change here. Thomas has checked in. 1:27 left here in the second. Double team on Thomas. It's stolen by Odom. Here's Miller. Finished off the break. Miller's got 7.
And unfortunately, we've seen a few too many of those. A lack of concentration, a turnover, and an easy bucket in transition.
Malone has screen on Iguodala. Here's Ellis, and he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
This is his first free throw of the game.
Listen, 84 is a really good number to post at the foul line, and that's where he's at on the year. And that's another area where he is just a superb player, excellent at the free throw line. He's going to put that one in his scrapbook. Insane dunk.
And now they're starting to rub it in, build up a lead, and here we go, baby. It is showtime. Stockton kicks to Malone. There's 48 seconds left in the first half of the game. A 19-foot shot, and good, as it just snugs right down through the net. 41 seconds left to play in the first half. And stolen by Hayward. Thomas kicks to Stockton. Ellis outside. Ellis draws the double. Hayward dishes to Malone. He feeds it to Thomas. The Jazz working the ball around now. It's good, and the New Orleans lead is cut down to just 8 points with the bucket from Gordon Hayward. Over to the left wing. Swift, the pass to Brown. Hughes kicks to Wiggins. Over Stockton. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim. Wiggins has got his second basket of the night.
He has a very well-rounded offensive game. There's just no shortage of ways Wiggins has to punish.
Thank you, David, and we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter. See you in just a bit.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here alongside Shaquille, taking a look at New Orleans. And, big fella, let's get your thoughts on the home team.
Well, the offense is running on all cylinders. Guys are focused, executing, not playing outside of themselves. That's why their shooting percentage was.
And we're just about ready for the start.
Welcome back. The calendar has flipped over and so in the game for the Jazz, Hayward out there with Paul Millsap. Then there's John Stockton. Then it's Malone. And it's Ellis at the 2. And the whistle blows as the basket counts. And a three-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up.
And just carrying over from his last game, completely dialed in. You can sense his confidence.
I totally agree. Heat check after heat check. He realizes, man, I'm still hot.
Wasted no time on that shot, but it's off the mark. Iverson against Stockton. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. They get John Stockton. And you love to watch the players attack the rack. Everybody does. Smitty, who do you think are some of the best slashers right now in the NBA?
I think DeMar DeRozan, he does a great job of playing without the basketball. You see LeBron James, he has it in his hands, but when Kyrie has it, you see he slashes s83pointalllday's, Andrew Wiggins. Those are some of the guys that are the best in the business without the basketball.
Fun to watch him, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Stockton against Iverson. Here's Iguodala. Andre Iguodala with the slam.
Now, how about breaking out the Statue of Liberty on that
A
dunk?
nice way to pad that lead a little more. You're right. Malone outside. Second half of basketball, just over a minute played so far. It's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. This is his first chance at the line tonight.
And that 82% free throw percentage this season must have him feeling pretty good about himself at the line.
Good on the second free throw. Last game in New Orleans, they picked up the win against the Mavericks. Abdul-Jabbar. For New Orleans, they have shot 9 of 11 at the free throw line.
And 75% on the season as a unit from the free throw line.
Joe Ingles, who's checked in for Karl Malone. And so he hits both. Jazz trail by 15. Out of bounds, New Orleans will take possession.
Poor timing on that play causes the turnover.
New Orleans has gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. And here's Iverson outside. And again, no good by New Orleans. The Jazz shooting just 34% from the floor. Dishes it to Stockton. It's stolen by Odom, and they're moving it up.
And a lot to like about that play, particularly how it ends.
Yeah, at the rack. That's what you want in transition, a high percentage look.
Utah calls timeout.
And this is what you got to do. I mean, if it ain't working, call timeout, try to figure out what you can do to fix the problem.
You know, also, it's just a chance to take a breath, regroup, get your mind set, and come back out fresh.
Armstrong's checked in for Utah. Last outing for Utah, it was a loss to the Bulls. Millsap a screen on Iverson. Stockton dishes to Millsap. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give them 2 chances at the free throw line here. For Utah, they have gone 3 of 4 at the free throw line tonight. And the first one at the line is good. And the Jazz making a change here. Mitchell's checked in. Both free throws good for Millsap. And the new CBA hammered out Smitty last season between the league and the players. It really seemed to get done. Adam Silver, a terrific job. Chris Paul leading the players' side. They got together early and seemed to be much more cordial in their negotiations. I think that's a wonderful sign.
I think the game is in good hands right now, and I was happy from, like you said, from the league side and the players' union side. You said it best, Kevin. They got together early, and that's why I think it was seamless. And the game right now is going so well, and they didn't mess it up, and I'm happy about it.
And you know what? I'll even go on. I'll take it one step further. I don't know if there's a professional league in the world right now that is in better shape in almost every aspect than the NBA. What do you think?
I totally agree, Kevin. Right now, we have a magical time right now in the NBA. Things are running well on the court and off the court.
Armstrong passes to Mitchell. Hayward a screen on Odom. Millsap a screen. Mitchell kicks to Armstrong. Iverson with some nice D.
Yeah, blown opportunity after the 2-man game creates a terrific look.
That's how it's drawn up. That is everything but the finish.
A three-pointer is right on target.
Yeah, you see the killer instinct. He's going for the death blow.
True story. They got a monster league that's taking a life of its own.
Millsap a screen. Armstrong kicks to Hayward. Ring shot on the way. Rebounded by Abdul-Jabbar. New Orleans leading by 12. Millsap with the steal. Third quarter of basketball here in just a little under 3.5 minutes gone by. Out of bounds, New Orleans will take possession. New Orleans making some changes here. P.J. Brown's checked in for Abdul-Jabbar. Andrew Wiggins comes in for Andre Iguodala. And Larry Hughes is subbed in for Iverson. And Utah with a change here, too. Isaiah Thomas is checked in for Mitchell. On three-pointer, Wiggins connects from three-point range. Wiggins has got 8 points.
I mean, defensively, you have to close out harder than that.
Hayward kicks to Armstrong. Hayward outside to the middle. Here's Thomas. Off target at the rim.
You can't ask for a higher percentage look than the one that he got. I think he lost his confidence.
Yes. Just increasing their advantage. And right now, they're in a zone on both ends.
Yeah, this lead has snowballed. Credit their killer instinct for piling on.
There's the screen. Outside Millsap. 5 on the clock. From deep. Thomas with another miss.
Yeah, not a great shot there, especially when you got a lockdown defender guarding.
You know, there's no shame in passing out in that situation. Leave your ego at the door.
And Wiggins throws it down hard.
Just relentless. Really impressed with how they've been able to maintain that focus.
When you have a huge lead, it's easy to get sloppy on offense. They haven't fallen into that trap.
Utah calls timeout.
Yeah, you need to refocus now. Momentum is running against you.
And from what I'm seeing, there's too many unfavorable matchups out there on the floor.
Some changes for New Orleans. Primetime's checked in for Money. Wallace comes in for Crabb. And Miller's subbed in for Larry Hughes. Utah also making some changes. Malone's checked in for Millsap. And it's Ellis in for Joe Ingles. And it's out of bounds. Utah able to retain possession here.
And how about the reaction time on D there? Almost comes up with the pick.
You know, these are the little plays that can add up when you look over the course of a game.
Here's Malone. Here's Hayward. 6 for 10 with that shot going in. That's a good game for a lot of guys.
Not letting his team down. He's been very strong. He just needs a little help from his teammates.
To the inside. Wiggins dishes to Miller. That ball's nice feed that time from Wiggins. 10 points for Mr. Clutch.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Here's Thomas. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. The Jazz have shot 6 of 7 at the line.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line. And they came out of the locker room after halftime with a much more physical approach than what we saw in that first half.
New Orleans making a switch here. Hughes is checked in. John Stockton is checked in for Utah. Here's Primetime, defended by Hayward. Swift the pass to Hughes. Banked in off the glass. Primetime's got 8 points.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Now Stockton floats one up from deep. Ellis drills it from outside. He's got 7.
Oh, man, how about the last-minute decision there to pull the shot down and get a better one for your team?
And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. New Orleans leads by 17. And time to step aside quickly, but we'll be back in no time with the start of the fourth quarter. And now a sneak peek into the huddle with Coach Jason Kidd.
We got the great look. Great look.
Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. Jazz trail by 17. They've got Andrew Wiggins. Ball is out there in prime time. Then it's Larry Hughes, and it's Abdul-Jabbar in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. So that's the group out there for New Orleans. Stockton right side. Stockton draws the double. There's Ellis with the 3 ball, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by Ellis.
As his man just misses with the pass. Not sure what happened on that play.
New Orleans leading by 17. Well, the NBA we know has incredible competition, and more times than not, it's more serious than anything else, and they're so locked in. But Steve, right, there are moments of levity that everybody can kind of laugh at, correct?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think the one thing is having a teammate go to their free throw line, shooting an air ball, and him glancing over at the bench, and, you know, nobody wants to laugh at times. but depending on the game, you just bust out laughing, and then he goes up there and shoots it really hard to make sure he doesn't have an air ball. And then the one when you're passing the basketball and the teammate is not looking and you catch it right in the top. That's the one everybody laughs about the most.
How about you personally? Any moment that either you were laughing or people were laughing at something that happened to you on the floor?
You know, I had this one, we call it a flat tire, Kevin. I was led. Teammate Brevin and I threw it out, and I couldn't stop. And my legs wobbled. I fell. I caught it and went out of bounds. That's the one I think for me was the funniest. It just wasn't funny when it happened.
Iguodala outside, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's on Monte Ellis. And the demands of NBA basketball, no secret. The league has taken measures, Steve, to allow players more time for rest, which is good, and more time for recovery, which is better. Less back-to-backs. Do you think more can be done and should be done in those areas?
You know, I know the league is looking at it. The less back-to-backs is fantastic, and I think they're looking at the travel and the recovery. So as more and more they can limit back-to-backs, I think that helps guys recover. I think guys get a chance to be ready to go. Because playing a back-to-back is extremely hard. And I think guys on their own are doing a lot to be able to take care of their bodies in the off-season. So I think both players and league are doing a fantastic job.
Hayward outside. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line. And to shoot two.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
The first free throw is good. Kyle Anderson, he's checked in for Utah. Ricky Rubio comes in for Stockton. Hayward hits them both. Last game in New Orleans, they picked up the win against the Mavericks in Dallas. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot two right here. Alone. And so he's picked up his final foul. He will sit for the rest of this game.
Yeah, and luckily they've got terrific depth at that position. If there's one spot on the floor where they can afford to lose somebody, that would probably be it.
Joe Ingles is checked in for Utah. Nice ball movement by Utah. And the basket by Rubio.
High percentage look inside. Rubio always looking to maximize the value of the possession.
Odom kicks to Abdul-Jabbar. He had stolen by Ingles. Young outside. To the left side wing. Young sets a screen for Rubio. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot two here. Steve, we're hearing more and more about video game competitions, the rise of esports. It's big business. Have you been following any of that?
Yes, I have. Rick, Fox, Shaq, those guys with E-League here at Turner Sports. I get a chance to watch and bring my kids here and watch of it. I'm amazed. It's growing and growing and growing, and I love the competition of Rick Fox, Echo Fox versus Shaq's team.
And it's out of bounds. The Jazz able to retain possession here. Gordon Hayward's checked in for Joe Ingles. And a regroup necessary. Timeout called by Quinn Snipe.
And Ricky Rubio, known mostly for his ability to pass it and create opportunities for teammates, but I think he's an underrated defender at that point guard spot, and maybe doesn't get the credit he deserves defensively.
And Utah making a change here. Anderson's checked in. Rubio with it. And Abdul-Jabbar picks him up defensively. Hayward kicks to Millsap. Anderson the screen. Off the screen. Millsap misses. And Greg, for Rubio, his defense is something that isn't talked about, but is certainly present all the time.
Yeah, I mean, he's smart, fast, he moves his feet well, and has terrific anticipation with his hands. Great playing both on and off the ball, and just aware of his spacing and a player's tendencies.
He dishes it to Hayward. Millsap a screen on Odom. From deep. Another miss by Utah. New Orleans has gone 6 of 11 when they're taking the three-point shot tonight. Very respectable. Second shot opportunity, and Iverson with the layup. Iverson's got 16 points here in the second half.
Up by a bunch. He's still pushing the action, trying to impose his will.
With this big of a deficit in the score, you think the losing team would be playing harder. Nope, the opposite.
And Rubio kicks to Anderson. Anderson the screen. Hayward is doubled. Pass to Armstrong. The three. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Odom's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Iverson, no good.
And that was an easy one there, just a missed opportunity.
If you give it to him, he'll take that shot every time down the floor. I'm sure he's kicking himself.
Hayward with the ball. And it's Iguodala picking him up. And Rubio gets it to go on the assist by Hayward. Rubio's got 5 points now this quarter. Miller outside. And another 3 for New Orleans.
And that's from beyond, guys. Right back at you.
This is looking more like an all-star game right now. Everyone launching from range.
And it's Allen Iverson with the foul. That will get him his 4th foul of the game. Well, Steve, it's something that everyone has a different opinion on. How do you feel about the current amount of years a player has to play in college before they enter the NBA draft?
Well, Kevin, I look at it this way: is I like the notion that people have been throwing around that you're able to come out of high school and go to the NBA. But if you choose to go to college, you must play 2 years. So I'm leaning toward and researching and looking at that. I think I'm on board with that because there are some guys should have the opportunity straight out of high school, and there are some guys I think need college. So I think if they can balance that out, and I think that's the way I would be leaning.
I like that perspective. Joe Ingles is checked in for Utah. Poke loose. Odom with the double team. Feeds it to Mitchell. For the 3. Kept alive. Tries again. Nice D from Odom.
Oh, that's terrific defense there. That's how you protect the rim. And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout. Big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for New Orleans.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And for the year now, they'll be tallying their 16th win. The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for Iverson.
He just looked like an orchestrator out there. His teammates kept running to the open spot, and he found them time and time again. And this is the kind of deficit it would take a miracle to overcome.
I think this hometown crowd agrees with you. They are fired up about it.
Millsap a screen. 29 seconds left in the game. Millsap a screen on Abdul-Jabbar. Shot clock at 3. Mitchell. Pass to Ingles. Rubio against Iverson. Rubio dishes to Ingles. The tray. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Iverson outside. Fires for 3. Count it.
And just putting the finishing touches on this one. They have been on fire.
I mean, a fantastic run. The guys are really clicking, and the scoreboard reflects that.
So we see New Orleans taking the W here. It was a tale of 2 teams tonight. One that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
I mean, the energy here is just so tremendous. Fans involved from the get-go, and once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see that rhythm and flow from their perspective.
And that about wraps it up. For Steve Smith, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan, thanking you for being with us. So long, everyone.
What you know about going out, head west, red legs, TVs, all up in the headrest. Try and live it up, ride you a bigger truck, all glittered up. Chin, what? Jig with a cut, shit, Chris, spit it up. Rock, get your till I can't. I'm a big man, get a slam home out of everything from Cancun to Cancun. Why you staying on the wall, hand on your...
Alright, so you collect your players, so you can customize your lineup. What else can you customize in My Team?
You can pick NBA jerseys, and then when you reach a certain level in My Team, you can customize everything. You can have your own custom court, your own custom ball, your own custom uniforms. Anything to personalize your team is in the game.
What color scheme is your team normally?
Right now, because it changes, is blue and yellow. That's the Budget Ballers color.
Cool. All right, Robbie, so what's your #1 tip for anybody playing My Team?
You can always try things through the play menu, but I definitely recommend that you go through to this goals menu right here. You can do a simple task complete.
I'm the reason they made it. Ooh.
Greetings, everyone, from Atlanta. The Hawks playing host to it, and let's get it.
Guys, he told me their primary focus of the pregame discussion was defense. He said they're dealing with a very sophisticated offense, and it's going to require an outstanding effort from his players.
Thank you, David. For a young player, Clark, it's adjusting to the speed of the NBA and the length of the schedule. So how do you power through that rookie wall? How do you survive that?
Well, there's no magic formula, Kevin. You just have to stay the course because it comes in different times for different players. For me, it was after about 60 games. I was a starter playing 34, 35 minutes a game. So it was a combination of fatigue and just getting used to 2.5 times more games than I ever played in my career. So you fight through it, stay with your habits, stay with your preparation, and eventually you find your legs.
Now let's take a look at the starters for New Orleans. Iguodala out there with money. Then it's Miller. Then it's Iverson. And it's Abdul-Jabbar in at the center position. Smith kicks to T. Smith sets the pick for T. Out to Smith. Here's the three. Kept alive. Here's New Orleans. And the pass to Iverson. Here's Abdul-Jabbar. Good work defensively by Smith. New Orleans on D. It's off his leg. And the ref saying you kicked it. To Bennett for the three, and once again off the mark by Atlanta.
Still can't get anything going here after 3 tries.
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. New Orleans shooting their first free throws of the game, and that one falls for Odom. And Odom drops him. We play just over a minute here in the first. T kicks to Smith. Inside, Hawks passing it around. Wilkins up top. One up, one down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
Man, you like this intelligence he plays with. You gotta respect that. He gets to his spots and scores efficiently.
Teague against Iverson. Here's Abdul-Jabbar, and the dunk by Abdul-Jabbar.
And guys, that's his game. I mean, battling in the paint and cashing in on those second chance opportunities.
And Greg cashing in hard. I mean, man, oh man, he puts an exclamation point on that dunk.
Guys, that's the only way he knows how to do it. Soft, I don't even think is in his vocabulary.
Shot clock at 5. Here's Smith. And he overshot that one, missing.
Really just struggling here in the first few minutes. 5 attempts with only 1 falling.
Here's Odom, and the dunk by Odom.
And he sure can get off the floor.
He's one of the best in the business, absolutely.
Boy, he makes it look easy. He is an absolutely imposing finisher around the rim.
Wilkins draws it up. Smith with it, and it's Miller picking him up. Smith gets it to go on the assist by Smith. Smith's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. It's Miller on the wing. It's stolen by Smith. He kicks to T. Out left of the wing. Smith outside. Clock at 6. Can't hit the turnaround jumper.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that.
It's good from long range. Atlanta with the ball. 4-point game. Wilkins with a screen on Iverson. T kicks to Wilkins. Iguodala with the steal. Iverson against T. Iverson, no luck.
In this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Teague against Iverson. Here's Pettit. Not going to go that time. And New Orleans will go the other way with it. Here's Odom. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. For New Orleans, they have gone 2 for 2 in the game at the line.
And as a team, really just middle of the pack in terms of their percentage from the line at about 76.
And guys, you know what? That's made things hard for them in a lot of their games. I mean, that inability to convert their chances at the free throw line.
Catching up on the changes for New Orleans. Walls is checked in for Iguodala. Wiggins comes in for Miller. And Larry Hughes is subbed in for Allen Iverson. And Wiggins throws it down.
Able to finish through contact there, Kevin. Wiggins with the broad shoulders and excellent body control. Nicely done.
And as it goes out of bounds, Atlanta able to keep the ball here. New Orleans making some changes here. Brown comes in for Abdul-Jabbar. And Prime Time subbed in for Money. Here's Calderon. Taking a look at his numbers, he averages about 7 points a game. Johnson the screen. Clock at 6. Johnson sets the screen for Hardaway. Knocked away over Wallace. And it's off the back rim, no good.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
Yeah, the half and half balls are going their way, and that's really a function of effort and intensity. You know, the ball doesn't discriminate. Whoever goes and gets it, that's who owns it.
New Orleans leading by 7. Swift. Rebound by Smith.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on him.
Pass to Calderon. Here's the teardrop. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's going to be on Larry Hughes.
Clearly a foul.
Yeah, he took a shot there, earned those free throws.
And he misses the second one as well, so he is 0 for 2 that time.
You don't see him have too many of those trips to the line.
The basket counts and 1. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it a 3-point play. For New Orleans, they have gone 3 of 4 at the free throw line tonight. And the free throw, no good. The Hawks have missed both of their free throws tonight, 0 for 2 so far.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
Hey guys, I'd have to credit the work they put in at the free throw line to practice this season. I mean, because they have noticeably improved since a year ago.
And that's the norm for him. He's pretty much automatic when he's at the line.
And Wiggins throws it down.
What a play from Wiggins. Fantastic in out-quicking the defense off the dribble. Bang!
There's 45 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Calderon kicks to Smith. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. And Calderon gets it to go on the assist by Mirovic. Calderon's got 5 now.
You know, the screen wasn't that great, but still he got it done. Excellent concentration on the hard finish.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat.
Now's the time to do it. Keep attacking that rim.
5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Johnson kicks to Calderon. Down low. Wallace, the pass to Swift. Back to Wallace. Just 3 on the clock. No good at the rim. And so is New Orleans. holding on to an 8-point lead heading into the break. They're pounding the ball inside, and that's where they've gotten their best production tonight. Back right after this. Now the second quarter getting ready to start. Last game in New Orleans, they picked up the win against Utah, and he commits the intentional foul.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
Yeah, yeah, completely a brain fade. I don't know where that came from. Just lost sense of time and the situation.
Smith is out to adjust. Then it's Kerr. Then there's Maravich. And it's Hardaway in at the small forward. That's the group starting the second quarter for the Hawks. And an intentional foul right there. A platoon swap here for New Orleans. And the Hawks with possession here, trailing by 10. Miller against Maravich. For three, Kerr off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
Josh Smith getting in the way of the defense there.
Iverson dishes to Abdul-Jabbar. Second chance shot. That one, no good. Smith with some nice D. Atlanta's gone 1 of 2 on three-pointers here in the second quarter. So Odom with the double team. And it's Allen Iverson with the foul. That's his first foul. Clark, when you look back at your terrific career, who is the one player that you considered your toughest opponent to go up against?
There were a couple of guys. Bernard King from the New York Knicks, because we saw them a handful of times a year, and he was just such a phenomenal scorer and a relentless worker offensively. He just never gave you a break. I didn't get to see the West Coast teams but twice a year. The Denver Nuggets in the early 80s had Kiki Vandeweghe, Alex English, and Dan Issel. And between those three guys, they were averaging about 80, 81 points a game. And I usually dealt with English or Vandeweghe. And those were long nights because those guys moved the ball, shot it from everywhere, and were excellent offensive players.
His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
And how? I mean, they're taking this defense to task, taking them to school. Every one of their last 10 points have come in the paint.
Screen by Smith. Here's Pettit. Second chance over, and he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. It's going to go on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that, that's your only option.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, free throws are always better than a layup, so I'd agree with you there, Greg.
Here's what Atlanta's going with right now. Wilkins comes in for Johnson, and Smith subbed in for Maravich.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
And Greg, those looks they're allowing are almost automatic.
Outside Wilkins, over to the wing. It's good in the New Orleans lead is cut down now to just 3 on the bucket from Pettit.
Always enjoy solid, good passing. Easily setting up his teammate. Does not get any easier than that.
Back to Iverson.
You know what? Tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
Yeah, he was one step late that time, Greg.
And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Smith with the block. Kerr against Iverson. Kerr kicks to Wilkins. And Wilkins slams it in.
Oh boy, to be young again.
Makes you nostalgic, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does make me look back a little bit, but I could never throw it down like that. It sure does look good.
Here's Smith. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead. They now take the lead. Pettit's got his 3rd basket of the night right there. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Hawks.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught them off guard. Playing airtight defense and coming up with the steal.
And one thing, Clark, I've noticed is how quick their hands have been. Thanks to that, they've gotten a lot of points off of turnovers.
Count that as his 4th basket of the night. Just 7 shots to get there.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
They get it back. Abdul-Jabbar. And it's blocked. Smith against Miller. And then Smith with the dunk.
Terrific timing on that pass, placing it in a great spot, ideal spot where his teammate could score.
That first time out of the game called for New Orleans.
And with the time running against them, needs to talk it over with his guys.
You're exactly right. Halting the other team's run momentarily. Let's see what he comes up with now, Greg.
The Atlanta making some changes. Jose Calderon, he's checked in for Smith. And it's Teague in for Steve Kerr. And Wiggins throws it down.
Inviting contact on the drive. Wiggins with the aggressive move. Pays off there.
Here's Atlanta. They're on a 19-6 run.
Hey, and you know, when you're the #1 overall pick, there's some pressure that comes with that stature. And Wiggins had a lot of pressure on him because of that. Has responded well, though, and I think stardom is in this guy's future. I mean, you look at his overall game and how he's developing, a really good threat on offense, and I think he's got a chance to be all NBA defense at some point.
And just thinking about the maturing of Wiggins' game and how he's developed, Clark, he showed that he can carry an offense as a perimeter player. You can do that at his age.
Yeah, and he was able to do that in part because he was forced to. When Levine went down last season with an injury, stepped up his scoring, and I think he's only going to get better as he gets older.
And he thought he had a clear path to the hoop, but the defense didn't give up on that play and cut him off.
Here's Teague. That ball's nice speed this time from Jose Calderon. Teague's got his first 2 points of the night. Teague against Hughes. And he uses the glass on the layup.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
Wilkins against Morris. Wilkins can't get it to go. For New Orleans, they've gone 5 of 11 from the field since the beginning of the second quarter. It's stolen by Wilkins. All alone, and Wilkins with the stop.
Well, I like that he shows no hesitation there.
Well, that's as easy as it gets, quite honestly. Riding solo and posting all the way to the rack. There's something in that.
And that's collected by Smith.
A good interior D there prevents the deuce.
And, you know, that's not easy at all. When guys get this close to the bucket, it's tough to stop the basket.
Drains it from beyond the arc. And it's a 6-point Hawks lead.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Wiggins trying.
That's how you attack. Wow.
Oh, man. Making the impossible look easy. Wiggins with the great creativity in the air. He typically hangs in the air a little longer than the average bird will.
Calderon, that's good. Here's Hughes. No good trying to beat the buzzer. And the first half is now in the books. Hawks lead by... Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here alongside Shaquille. It was a shaky first quarter for Atlanta. They wasted no time putting themselves in a difficult situation, having some issues at both ends of the floor, and falling behind by 8 points by the time the period came to a close. In the second, and that's all we can do.
Welcome back, folks. Always so much activity going on here in the bustling metropolis of... Atlanta leading by 6. So for New Orleans right now, you've got Allen Iverson, Money out there with Abdul-Jabbar, and there's Iguodala, and it's Miller in at the 2-guard spot. Abdul-Jabbar with the block. And it's Miller penetrating, and Miller throws it down hard.
Oh, an aggressive move and fantastic finish.
Trying to send a message with that slam, I think.
That's exactly how you send it. 2 hands and down.
Outside Teague dishes it to Smith. And he was fouled on the way out. 2 free throws now for him. Clark, a lot of ways to initiate the offense. What's the one thing you look for in a playmaker for a team?
Well, I think the willingness to give the ball up early and then to be able to understand what they're trying to get done offensively. So that comes back to basketball IQ, and we're assuming that the skill set is there. But to me, it's just understanding what you're trying to get every time down the floor and then being able to initiate that with the pass or the dribble. And, you know, they don't have it right now. I mean, missing their first 3 shots so far this half, slow start.
Counted, and the Atlanta lead has been cut down now to just 3 on the basket from Miller.
Can't give up these looks. I mean, the defense has to be more aggressive guarding the perimeter.
Wilkins kicks the tee. But they get it there. Rebounded by Abdul-Jabbar.
Offensively, the struggles continue. 0 for 5 to start the half.
First minute and a half of basketball here in the third quarter. It's Iguodala with the drive. Foul on the play. Basket counts, so it'll be a 3-point play chance.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth, physical basketball, guys.
Joe Johnson, he's checked in for the Hawks. Maravich comes in for Jeff Teague. Maravich, the pass to Petty. Iguodala against Johnson. Smith with a screen on Abdul-Jabbar. The shot no good, a bit short.
Not surprised if he missed that one, though, Kevin. I mean, the defense was very aggressive on him there.
For the lead, the drive by Iverson. Rebound by Smith.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Smith kicks to Maravich. Smith with a screen on Miller. Here's Maravich. Nice teamwork to set up the pick play and make the space for the J.
That was an outstanding pick that gave him the room to bury the jump shot. Underrated, but not undervalued.
A floater. Out of bounds. Atlanta takes possession. Steve Kerr is checked in for Smith. And New Orleans also making a change. Alan Crabb is checked in for Andre Iguodala. A little over 2.5 minutes off the clock in this final half of play. Johnson kicks to Maravich. Trying to find Johnson. He's got it now. Basket counts. Johnson's got his first points of the night.
You know, that part of the floor, guys, is more or less his real sweet spot, right in his wheelhouse.
Kerr with it. Maravich kicks to Johnson. Odom down low. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Odom's got 9 points.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
Smith kicks to Johnson. Offline with his 3. For New Orleans, they've gone 4 of 6 from the field since the start of the third. The shot by Odom.
Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Exactly. Can't play it any better than that, Greg.
Is it me, or does it just feel like he gets every rebound that comes up?
Well, he practically has gotten every one that's available. A 20-plus rebounding game is not something we get to see very often, Greg.
Kicks it out to Iverson. Down to 5 on the shot clock. It's stolen by Kerr. A shot off that time. And New Orleans will come the other way. Here's Odom. And the dunk by Odom.
Hey, guys, I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is to get the 2 points, not necessarily the dramatics.
Oh, come on. He had to go for that, didn't he? My goodness.
Yeah, I'm with you, Kevin, there. I mean, I can't fault the guy for adding a little flavor to things. I'm fine. Even if he'd have missed it, I don't mind him taking a chance to spruce it up a little bit.
Hardaway's checked in for Atlanta. Calderon comes in for Kerr. For New Orleans, they've gotten 5 of 8 shots to fall for them in the third quarter. A nice 62% from the field. Higgins outside. good. He's only missed one shot of his 6 taken on the floor.
And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the two teams.
Yeah, it's really been quite a contrast. I like the way they're attacking the middle of their offensive end.
Maravich, the pass to Pettit. They need this one, and he sinks the lead. Pettit's got 10 points in the game.
And that's exactly why you got to box him out, because when you don't, that's what happens. He burns you on the glass.
Here's Wallace. Rebounded by the Hawks. Pettit's got his 8th rebound here tonight.
If they increase the tempo, they got a chance at a 2-for-1.
Execution paramount. Speed it up and put the defense on their heels if you can.
Count that one. 12 points for him.
And I love the momentum he's building. Last game, he was just as dominant.
Yeah, I concur. I mean, definitely on the roll right now. Seems like everything he's throwing up is going down.
Atlanta's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. And here's Calderon. 7 points in the game. Kicks to Wilkins. Inside. Here's Pettit. An easy layup after coming off the pick. And now a 4-point Hawks lead.
They didn't have much of a problem getting the ball into the post that time.
And a great show through 3 quarters as we enter the 4th. Who will carry the day? Hawks ahead. They lead by 4. And we're coming right back after this break to get the 4th quarter underway. Head coach Mike Budenholzer is mic'd up along the sideline. Let's check it.
Relax. We're in good shape.
We welcome you back to what has been a good one here as we get into the 4th quarter. Now a timeout called by New Orleans.
That was a good time to call the timeout to try to settle everybody down and get back into their offensive rhythm. They've been coughing up the rock an awful lot.
Catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, I was able to listen in to what Jason Kidd went over with his team. He told them we've got to make the most of every chance right now. This is a winnable game, but we've got to make plays. As you see, if they can come back.
We've got Dominic Wilkins. Teague out there with Coleman. Then there's Johnson, and it's Pettit in at the pivot spot, man in the middle. So that's the Hawks 5. Here's Wilkins. No good that time. Nice defense from Wallace. Here's Swift. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
The first one falls. Atlanta making a switch here. Smith is checked in, and New Orleans also making a change. Iguodala's checked in. Here's T. Passes it to Wilkins. Johnson outside. From downtown. Offensive rebound.
Excellent timing on that tip in. That's something that makes him so good. I mean, just great timing in the air around the basket. Get
Miller with a wide open look. Rebound, Atlanta. 4th quarter just getting started. 1 minute in the books. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Iguodala. And Atlanta has possession. They lead by 4.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
Here's Swift. That's good. Great play set up by Iverson. Iverson's got 6 assists in the game. The Hawks leading by 5. Outside T. Lets the 3 fly. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
And it seems as if someone got their signals crossed. If he can wind up that open from 3-point range, I'm sure that was not a part of the game plan.
Here's Smith. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. And a closer look here at the hustle.